Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I'm fired up. I've been looking forward to being here and speaking with all of you since the day that we booked this date. I know many of you, and many of you I hope to get to know better. Let me share with you what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, we are going to go back in time, and we are going to share a series of stories. The reason that I use storytelling to transfer the message of love, of the warrior spirit, of listening, the reason I use storytelling is because of this. Many, many years ago, one of my friends, a coach, a mentor of mine, he told me, Greg, if you tell me the truth, I will believe you. If you tell me a fact, I will listen. But if you share with me a story, I will remember. And that's my goal for each and every one of you tonight. I want you to remember what you learn and what you hear tonight. And so you can take these lessons that I learned the hard way, take them back to your families, your friends, your loved ones, and make a positive impact, not just on your life, but on all the people whom you love and hold dear. Now, that being said, we better go back to one of the most important stories there is. Hundreds of years ago, a famous warrior named Heraclitus was surrounded by an enemy force. His men were significantly outnumbered. Death was imminent. He had one hope, one chance for survival, and that was to request reinforcements. And so he wrote a letter to the generals who were safe back home. He gave that letter to a trusted courier, and he said, "Ride, get this home to the generals." Well, that courier made it through the enemy lines. He made it home. He gave that precious letter to the generals. The generals opened it and realized, wow, Heraclitus is surrounded. We've got to get him replacement soldiers. They found the 100 best men they could find, and they sent them to the front line. When they got to the front line, Heraclitus lined everybody up, and he conducted an inspection. He walked up and down the row of the replacement soldiers. He stopped briefly in front of one soldier, and then with a heavy heart, he went to his tent and he wrote another letter to the generals. That letter said this: "Of the 100 men you just sent me, 80 are nothing more than targets. 10 don't even belong here. 9 are real fighters, and we are lucky to have them, for they the battle make. But one of them is a warrior, and he will bring all the others back home." Let me share with you where I first saw that quote. It was February 2004, and I was in one of the most beautiful places in the world, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Anybody been there? Yeah. Boot camp, yes sir. I was there for U.S. Army boot camp. And I walked into the in-dock station with 100 other future soldiers. And there on the wall in front of me were those famous words. I've always been compelled by those words. They've helped serve my life purpose because I've always tried to be the one. What does it mean to be the one? How can we embrace the warrior culture? How can we embrace the warrior spirit? And how can we bring the warrior spirit into the pursuit of love in our relationships? It's a fascinating question because so often the word warrior and the word love are at odds. They're opposed. But what I found is they have more alike than they do different. They have much more in common, love and the warrior spirit. And so what I want to do tonight is, in addition to reading some parts of the book, I want to share with you some stories that capture the essence of how each and every one of us can bring the warrior spirit into our life and into our relationships. We start with understanding two unique words. Two of these words I discuss in length in my book. But I want to give you a brief synopsis of these two words because I think they beautifully capture the essence of the warrior spirit. The first word is pronounced kaizen. Kaizen. Say that word with me one time. Kaizen. Kaizen. It's a very powerful word. And kaizen is a Japanese word. It comes from the samurai tradition. Now, the samurai were some of the bravest warriors the world has ever known. What's unique about the samurai tradition and the samurai warrior class is that the samurai embraced death, not life. Now, let me elaborate on that. Every day when the samurai warrior woke up, the mindset was that that day would be their last day. And because that was to be their last day on earth, their goal for that day was to be a little bit better than the day before. That's kaizen. Kaizen means constant improvement. Daily improvement. How much every day? Just a little bit. But over time, a little bit creates a compound effect, a dynamo effect in your life. And the next thing you know, huge positive change has taken place. Now, I see some nods from many of you seated here tonight, and those are the nods from people who train with me at my gym because they see the improvement in their physical body. Well, my friends, it doesn't stop there. We can bring kaizen into our intimate relationships as well. The key to a healthy, happy, loving relationship is small, daily doses of improvement. Kaizen. And what kaizen does is it puts us into a state of wanting, always wanting more, always desiring more, not just for ourselves, but for other people as well, for our family, for our friends, for our loved ones. We bring the pursuit of kaizen into our relationships, constant improvement. But you see, just wanting improvement, wanting something in your life is not enough. You also have to believe you are capable of achieving that which you want.